Hi Julie, I'm Axa and I'll be doing your interview today, and can I just say it is a pleasure to be doing this. I'm going to ask you a few questions if you don't mind. My first question is, what is your role as an MEP?
Um, well, I'm an elected representative for the northwest of England, so I have a geographical responsibility for all the citizens in the northwest. But also, I'm on the Culture and Education Committee, which means that I am the Labour Party spokesperson on those subjects in a European context. And education and culture includes citizenship, it includes media, it includes youth policy, policy for children, education, both in a formal way, but really importantly, informal education, so early learning as well. So it's a very broad brief. I'm also on the Committee for Women's Rights and Gender Equality, so this is really, really important in terms of girls' empowerment. So those are my main responsibilities, and what we are, we are lawmakers, but we don't make laws by ourselves. We make laws in consultation with civil society, but also with the Commission, who are a bit like the civil servants that work in Brussels and do all the technical proposals for new legislation and new policy.
Oh, thank you so much. My next question is, what would you like to do as an MEP to make a difference for the life of children?
Well, I think the really important thing is that politicians take children and young people seriously, because many people are not talking to children. Young people don't have a vote until they're, well, in the UK, until they're 18. For some things, maybe when they're 16, but generally it's 18, and that means that, you know, so for nearly 2 decades of your life, somebody has been making decisions about lots of things that affect you, and you haven't had a voice in that. And I think that's quite serious. And I think for me, the biggest thing would be just to turn that around, so that politicians really truly understand that they have to listen to young people, because if they're not listening to young people, they're not taking account of the next generation of adults. And at some point, young people will get the vote, and then they're going to be influenced by the politicians who had some child-friendly attitudes.
I completely agree. I do hope that as a young person myself that I do get the vote. Well, I'm 18 now, but when I was 16 I wasn't able to. So for other youngsters around Europe, I hope that does change. Um, why are you here at CATS this year?
Well, I'm here at CATS because I come every year. This is a place for me to touch base with really committed people who work in the field of children's rights, but also children and young people themselves directly, engaging in often very difficult ideas, very difficult issues and concepts. And I feel that I can do my job better because I spend time in this environment, because I can participate, as I have done this afternoon. I participated in some of the workshops, but just having conversations with people, being approachable, and myself being able to ask questions. And I think it makes me a better politician. It makes me more credible. I know what I'm talking about because I had the conversations with people, and it's fun. Hey, it's a family, isn't it? It's a
Yeah,
family. So
I completely agree with you there. Um, my next question is, how do you think young people and children can make a difference in their communities?
well, laws and different projects are decided at different levels of government authority. So if you're in a city, for example, you might have a mayor, but you've certainly got a city council. Even if you're in a village, you might have a parish council or a village council. Or, if you're in a different European country, you have départements, you have mayors, you have a whole range of different people who are making decisions and who have money to spend. This is important. People have budgets. And the thing to do is to push to have really good child participation, so that all the decision-making bodies set up mechanisms whereby they are listening to young people, that they have young people involved in a range of different activities around official decision-making. It might be, for example, scrutiny as well. Scrutiny is when you check that what people are doing is what they should be doing, and are they spending the money on the things they said they should be spending the money on, and is it having the right kind of result, and to make sure there's no corruption as well. So, but young people can be involved in a lot of these things, certainly can give their ideas, but could also be involved on decision-making panels about how money is spent, and on scrutiny panels, and there's a whole load of things. And I think that what young people need to do is to recognize that they have rights, and that it's their right to be part of these processes and not to be shut out.
Thank you. What is the most difficult part of being an advocate for children?
I suppose it's trying to persuade some other politicians that children are serious, and know about things. And a good example for me would be, I really believe that in the UK we should give 16 and 17-year-olds the vote. And I have met a lot of young people who have spent such a long time and reading about their rights and responsibilities. They really get to grips with different issues, and they really care about fairness and social justice. And but sometimes politicians they don't want to give up power in a way. So including young people in a meaningful way can be difficult. I mean, I do it all the time, but I'm already converted to the cause. What we have to do is to get other people on board. And maybe the thing to do is to remind these politicians that they were once children. We all came through childhood. We've all been young, and we've had a range of different experiences that have made us who we are. We are experts in our own experiences. And politicians really just need to be reminded of that, and maybe need to be reminded about how they felt when they were shut out of decision-making processes.
And on the opposite spectrum, what is the most exciting thing about advocating for children and young people?
Well, I have loads of fun. I truly have loads of fun. I meet some of the best people in the world. I meet incredible campaigners. I meet amazing, brave, courageous children and young people who are doing phenomenal things, and I would never have missed any of that for the world. To count some of these people now amongst my best friends, trusted people who I know also will go on to be great leaders in their own sphere.
And last but not least, will you come back next year?
Well, the summer is never summer for me if I haven't been at CATS. I'm really addicted to it, and usually round about January I'm getting in touch with the CATS organisers, and I'm saying, please tell me the dates for August, because I want to put it in my diary now and make sure I can be there for some of the time. Yeah, so I hope to be with you again.
I hope to see you next year too. Thank you so much for doing this interview for us, and that concludes us.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.